Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few pictures sent in by Stacy A. from Jonesboro, Arkansas. The tornado that went right through basically the center of town, or at least a very densely populated part of town. Here's the tornado. Looks to be pretty good size, borderline wedge. Not exactly sure the classification of that storm. But we were doing a live stream yesterday, and at one time there were 10 tornado warnings in over 5 states. This was one of the first tornadoes to touch the ground, did extensive damage. You can see here, took a train completely off of the tracks. Again, that photo was sent in by Stacy. Here's another photo sent in by Stacy. She also sent in the photo of the tornado as it was going through Jonesboro. This gentleman here is taking pictures of these cars piled up, cars on top of trucks, trees completely taken out of the ground. You can see a large light pole here laying on the ground that was probably once right up here. Unbelievable scene. That's probably an EF3, quite possibly an EF4. That was an extremely strong storm. Took a train off of the tracks. Don't see that very often either. I want to thank Stacy for sharing the photos. Once again, that was from the amazing day yesterday, and that was one of the many aspects that we saw of tornadic activity that there being in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and I hope everybody came out okay during that storm. I wanted to talk about in this video the 2020 hurricane season, what they're predicting or what we could possibly expect this year. Typical years around 12 named, 3 majors, sometimes 1 or 2 landfalls involving majors. This year, according to AccuWeather, the 2020 Atlantic, and that's in the Atlantic Basin, that's the one that we watch very closely, is expected to be above normal. 2020 Atlantic hurricane season is expected to be above normal. Tropical activity report says. Story out of Fox 35 Orlando, dated 3 days ago, goes on to say that in a normal year, the Atlantic Basin will have about 12 storms. That's during hurricane season. 6 hurricanes, roughly 3 major hurricanes. However, 2020 is expected to have 14 to 18 tropical storms during the upcoming season. Season begins June 1st, by the way. Of those, 7 to 9 are expected to become hurricanes, while 2 to 4 could strengthen into major hurricanes. Hurricane season begins June 1st and lasts until November 30th. The 2019 season had 18 named storms, matching 1969 for the 4th most lively season in the past 150 years. And the way that records have been set here recently with regard to record high temperatures, record low temperatures, record rain, wouldn't surprise me one bit if the hurricane season didn't set some sort of records. We're just kind of in that type of trend right now. Hurricane season begins June 1st and lasts through November the 30th. So look for a potentially overachieving hurricane season this year out here in the Atlantic Basin. Hurricanes can form off of the west coast of Africa, make the journey all the way across the Atlantic Basin, sometimes making landfall up into the States if they make the 4,000-mile journey like Hurricane Irma did back in 2017. Sometimes they form here in the Caribbean and make their way up into the Gulf of Mexico or the eastern seaboard. A majority of them form out here in this region and simply make their way up into the North Atlantic, never making landfall, at least in the U.S. Some of them make their way all the way over to Great Britain, Scotland, and Ireland, occasionally, sometimes even Spain. So this year could be a overachieving year with regard to hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin. And right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of dust coming off of the west coast of Africa. It's actually, believe it or not, blowing the other direction. That's right now, and that could always change, but right now the dust is blowing inland. And you can see a lot of dust particulates going across Saudi Arabia, up through the Middle East and over into China. There's been a strong storm there for several days north and east of India. Right up there, that's the Gobi Desert, I believe. Very thick, persistent storm up in there. But the dust coming off of the west coast of Africa that for the last couple of years has been transatlantic, billowing across the Atlantic Ocean, making its way all the way to the United States, the Caribbean, the Greater Antilles, the Lesser Antilles, and even some parts of South America. is absent right now. So that would open up the superhighway out here for hurricanes. At least they wouldn't be dealing with the dust. And the dust does influence the hurricane season. I've seen it happen. It puts a lid on the atmosphere. Hurricanes like to reach up high into the sky, and if they're not able to because of a very thick layer of dust out in the formation zone, then they're simply not going to form unless they're ahead of that dust plume. We've watched it for the last couple of years. There were still hurricanes, but they were in front of any thick dust clouds. So look for potentially more hurricanes this year. Quick update on Comet Atlas. Here's what I do know. It just entered the orbit of Mars. There's the orbit of Mars, the red ring. It just went past that. Puts it around, 100 million miles away from the sun. Perihelion date is on May 30th. Of 2020 here in about 2 months. So we're going to be watching this thing through the night skies, weather permitting, as it makes its way towards a perihelion of the end of May. It's not anywhere close to Earth, guys. It's several million miles from Earth. I think the closest it will get to Earth is 70 million miles, at least the physical nucleus of the comet. The tail and the coma. The coma is quite large. It's as big as the sun right now. That's the green that you see on the comet right there. That's the coma. That's as large as the sun right now. The nucleus is about 25 to 35 miles wide. The tail is in the millions. It'll be several million miles long. But as far as the comet coming close to the Earth, no, not physically. It'll be millions of miles away. I mean, right now you can see where it's at, and it's going to dive right towards the sun. It may get bright enough to where we can see it during the daytime. Last couple of weeks of May, you never know. It's from the great comet of 1844, and that was a incredibly overachieving comet. And this is a direct family member of the comet of 1844. So that's pretty much all I know now. I've got a little bit of info over here at the website. Here's something I am looking for. If you are a person that has the capabilities of taking superior photos of Comet Atlas, say you have a 14-inch scope or a 10-inch or an 8-inch, if you can provide me, here's what I'm looking for, if you can provide me with photos several times a week, whenever, weather's permitting, I understand all that, I'll give you a slot here on the website, top of the page, to promote your work, your photos. Maybe you have a website. I'll put you here on my website, and I will also put the link to your website and your work in the description box of every video I do for the entire duration of Comet Atlas. That's going to be for the next 2, 3, 4 months. So it's something to consider. If you know anybody that has the capabilities of photographing Comet Atlas, I'm talking really close, good photos, let them know. You can get some good exposure over here. I'll put you on the website. I'll give you your own tab up here, and I will give you a shout out in all of my videos for the entire duration of Comet Atlas. If you can do it yourself, let me know. Reports at MrMBB333.com, or if you know somebody that possibly could and would be interested, have them give me an email over there at the website. I'm in the process of putting together a new sky phenomena picture slideshow, but in the meantime, I wanted to share an amazing photo I received today from Josh out of Centennial, Colorado. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Great photo, Josh, from Colorado. Simply amazing. If you guys are new viewers, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click on the notifications bell. That way you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. If you're current subscribers, double check. Make sure all the notifications are still turned on and make sure you're still subscribed. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery, and sometimes I use them in a picture slideshow like I'm working on right now. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.